Assalamualaikum and good day. Last week we have learned about the conventional method of investment appraisal, which are payback method and average rate of return ARR. And this week we're going to learn about the discounting methods, which are NPV and IRR, internal rate of return. Without further ado, let's proceed with the lesson. A vital factor ignored by the conventional method, maksudnya payback period and ERR of investment appraisal is that money has a time value. RM today, maksudnya ringgit Malaysia today is worth more than the same RM tomorrow. Katakan RM1 hari ini lebih bernilai daripada RM1 hari esok ataupun next year. So semakin lama value duit tu semakin berkurang. For example, kalau you boleh beli nasi lemak with the price of RM2 today, but perhaps in next 10 years, mungkin harga nasi lemak dah jadi RM5. Tak sama lagi sebab dia ada time value. A sum of money is worth more today than an equal sum of money at some times in the future, even ignoring the inflation. Walaupun tak termasuk inflation, harga duit makin lama akan makin berkurang in future. The present value of the future sum is dependent upon two factors, which are the rate of interest and the terms of years. Interest tu maksudnya kalau you ada buat pinjaman duit, bila dia kata 4% interest rate, so that is the rate of interest, berapa banyak bayaran yang dia akan kenakan dekat you untuk ambil profit, dan juga sebenarnya dia kira inflation juga dalam tu, because sebenarnya in future duit tu akan kekurangan value sebab let's say RM10 today takkan sama dengan RM10 in the next 5 years for example. So that's why dia akan charge you that interest rate, and also it depends on years. The higher the rate of discount used, then the less will be the present value of the sum. Let's say 10% dengan 15%. So the higher the discount used, meaning if let's say 15%, harga present value untuk hari ini akan lebih kurang daripada future value. Okay, so the higher interest rate applied will lower the value, present value dia. And present value, what does it mean? So future value, it is measures nominal future sum of money that given sum of money is worth at specified time in future assuming a certain interest rate. Maksudnya sekarang berapa sebenarnya value money tu pada akan datang dan dekat interest rate, sesuatu interest rate itulah. This value does not include correction for inflation or other factors that affect the true value of money in the future. Tak termasuk inflation. Present value measures nominal amount of money to change hand in some future date. Meaning, for example, kita buat construction project. Kita dah ada the forecasted cash flow untuk, for example, 5 years in the future. Kita tahu yang kita invest duit adalah sekarang. Tapi kita punya forecast tu adalah dalam masa 1 tahun, 2 tahun, 3 tahun, 4 tahun, 5 tahun. Jadi kita nak tahu dalam masa the whole that 5 years berapa sebenarnya income yang akan kita dapat pada masa sekarang. Present value ini juga tak termasuk inflation and other factors yang akan affect the true value of the money. The formula for future value is equal to present value times with 1 plus the interest rate and N is the years. Discounted cash flow analysis is a method of valuing a project, company or assets using the concept of time value of money. All the discounting method ni memang pakai konsep time value of money yang those conventional tak include sekali. All future cash flows are estimated and discounted to give their present values, which means that the income that kita dah forecast that kita akan dapat pada masa akan datang, kita nak tahu berapa value income tu pada sekarang. The sum of all future cash flows, both incoming and outgoing, is the net present value, NPV, which is taken as the value or price of cash flows in question. Using DCF analysis to compute the net present value takes as input cash flows and a discount rate and give and output a price. When positive net present value produced by the discounted cash flow calculation, a project is worthwhile. First, kita tengok on the net present value. So NPV is a technique where the cash flows expected in future years are discounted back to their present value, because mostly bila you ada forecast like how much you going to get for the income of the investment yang you buat in future kan, you dah ada cash flow, you dah tahu because of similar project. Jadi kita nak tahu how much that we need to invest this year. Maksudnya untuk masa sekarang sebenarnya berapa sebenarnya harga duit tu masa sekarang untuk income masa hadapan. This is calculated by using a discount rate equivalent to the interest. Sama macam interest. The net present value of the investment project is difference between the sum of discounted cash flow which are expected from the investment and which is initially invested. Take account of changing value of money over time. Jadi dia ikut time value of money. Enables comparison at different interest rate to be considered. So you boleh compare between different interest rate yang berbeza. Contohnya kalau 6%, 7%. So kita boleh tengok beza berapa present value sekarang compared between dua tu lah project ataupun dua interest rate. Useful for comparing similar project with the same cost. Jadi ini kalau similar project same cost tapi kita pakai interest rate yang berbeza. So kita boleh tengok sebenarnya berapa banyak net present value, maksudnya present value, harga value duit tu untuk masa sekarang. Let's say you dapat net present value is bigger than 0. It means that the investment would add value to the firm. Baguslah. Okay, so the project should be accepted. If let's say it's less than 0, project should be rejected. You akan rugi. And let's say NPV is equal to 0, meaning that investment tu sama ada rugi atau untung. Neither of it lah. The project should be indifferent in the decision whether to accept or reject the project. Sebab tak ada beza kan. Tak tahu sama ada you dapat untung ataupun you akan rugi. Project A costs 1 million after 5 years and cash return of 100,000, 10%. If you have investment of 1 million into bank offering interest at 12%, the return should be greater. You might be better considering your investment. This is the formula that you have to use to get the present value. Future value must be divided with the 1 plus I dalam kurungan N ni. Apa sebenarnya benda ni? So this is PW factor. So sebenarnya present value is equal to future value darab dengan PW factor. So that's why you dapat something like this lah. The formula PW factor ni adalah this formula. So what does it mean by I? So I ni adalah interest rate and N is year. Depends on the year income you. Contohnya year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So you akan ubah dekat value N ni lah. And then we look at example 1. Calculate the present value of the following project cash flows using 10% discount rate. Even here the discount rate ataupun interest rate dia lah adalah 10%. Jadi kita akan kira based on this 10% using this cash flow. This is how I calculate. This is the cash flow based on years as what given in the question. And then this is the PW factors based on 10% discount rate. Kita akan pakai formula yang tadi lah. PW factor tadi equal to 1 divided by 1 plus I, which is discount rate, and then N. For the first one, how I get this 1 value dia, ini 1 I just masuk, I kira je 1 divide by 1 plus 0. So kalau 10%, 10 divide by 100, you dapat 0.1. Ikut year, so this one is year 0. Maksudnya tahun yang you keluarkan duit, tahun yang you start buat investment Jadi dekat sini you tulis kosong. So kalau 1 plus 0.1 is 1.01. Power of 0, you akan dapat 1. So you dapat 1 lah. That's why I got 1 here. And kita boleh proceed lagi buat for the second one, 0.909 ni, how I get it. 1 divide by 1 plus 0.1 kuasa 1. Jadi you akan dapat 1.1 kuasa 1. So 1 you bahagikan dengan value 1.1 ni lah. So you dapat 0.909. You do the same thing for all year 2 sampai year 5 ni. Just tukar je dia punya year dekat sini. So year 2 you akan dapat for year 2 here lah. This one and year 3, year 4 and year 5. And what you do next, since kita dah tahu PW which is the present value will be equal to PW ni sebenarnya PV tadilah, FV times with PW factor. Darab dengan present value factor. You akan dapatlah berapa sebenarnya present value. PW ni sama je dengan PV You darab each one. You akan dapat all this value. You start with the year 0 because of this one you keluarkan duit based on your cash flow minus 75,000. Therefore you tolak lah. And then this one everything here you plus the value and you akan dapat this sum 26,665 which is positive value. So when it is positive value, NPV is bigger than 0, it means that the project should be accepted. So that's why you accept project ni lah, because project ni, investment ni worth making Now we look at the internal rate of return, IRR So this is another discounting method. Sometimes a firm need to know how well the project will perform under range of interest rate scenarios, because sometimes interest rate ni ataupun discounting rate ni berubah-ubah Beberapa interest rate kita kena kira What level of interest rate will the project be able to withstand? So yang mana satu interest rate yang you akan dapat profit, you takkan loss. Risk of changing interest rate condition can be effectively minimized. Internal rate of return can be used to rank several prospective project a firm is considering, because if you ada, for example, if you have project A, project B, project C, you boleh compare and dapatkan interest rate setiap projek-projek tu. Bila semakin tinggi interest rate untuk satu projek tu, semakin tinggilah chances untuk rugi dan semakin risky. The IRR is the annual percentage return achieved by the project. Mathematically, the IRR is defined as the discount rate that result in the net present value of 0 of series of cash flow. Macam tadi, bila kita, kan it says that when NPV is equal to 0, meaning project tu either you akan dapat profit ataupun you akan loss Maksudnya dia antara tengah indifferent lah. NPV, bila you dapat NPV 0, kita nak cari berapa dia punya interest rate ataupun discount rate dia. Method dia, kita akan pakai trial and error. If NPV is negative, the rate chosen is too high. But if the NPV is positive, the rate chosen is too low. Jadi kita nak cari yang kat kosong berapa. Enable comparison to make project of differing value. The higher of the project IRR, the more desirable it is to take the project. An initial investment of 2,500 in a project produce cash flow as follows. The cost of capital to finance the project is 12%. Decide whether the project is worthwhile using NPV and IRR. Using this cash flow, kita akan kira NPV based on 12% discount rate. Kita nak tengoklah whether it is positive ataupun negative NPV. Soalan ni dia minta you dapatkan NPV Because you nak kira IRR, you kena dapatkan NPV dia berapa dulu, baru kita dapat kira IRR dia berapa. Kita kena cari dulu value NPV yang positif dengan value NPV yang negatif. So using the 12%, okay, produce a positive value. So betul ke produce positive value? So kejap lagi kita tengok. We need to find a discount rate that produce a negative NPV. It says let's try 20%. According to the question, I try 12% and also 20% to check whether kita boleh dapat satu value positif and satu value negatif. I memang dapat positive value and negative value using 12% as what it says in the question, and 20% this one sebenarnya sometimes dalam soalan tak ada bagi tahu pun berapa actually the PW factor. You have to garan you lah, maksudnya you estimate lah lebih kurang. If let's say 12% untuk dapatkan value negatif, higher lagi dia punya PW factor. So present value factor ni lebih tinggi, so you akan dapat value negatif. Sama je cara I kira for PW factors using formula yang as what in NPV, and you calculate the present value here. So this is the value that I get. One is positive and another one is negative. To calculate IRR, 12% is dia punya discounting rate yang value NPV-nya positif, which is 12%. And then you plus with 20 ni adalah discounting rate yang NPV-nya negatif minus dengan discounting rate dengan NPV-nya positif. This one you darabkan dengan value 318.07 ni. Value NPV yang positif, which is 12%, bahagi dengan value NPV yang sama minus dengan value NPV yang negatif, which is 20%. Negatif ni jangan ignore, kena biarkan dia kat dalam ni Dia akan jadi tambah lah dekat sini. And then 318.07 divide by this one. And then you darab lah dengan berapa value kat sini. 8 lah dekat situ. And then you akan dapat value dia. My answer is 17.315%, which is masa ni NPV adalah equal to 0. Because of kita tak ada another project yang kita boleh compare which DCF yield yang lower, so kita akan tengok pada project ni je lah. Based on this one, 17.315% ni is quite high, the discount rate dia. Jadi normally kalau value macam ni, kita tak accept the project because discounting rate dia agak tinggi, and to achieve NPV equal to 0, as in indecisive kita tak boleh nak decide, the interest rate is high. Kalau lebih lagi pada 17.315, contohnya dapat 18%, you akan rugilah. Alright, so itu saja for today's class. Kita akan sambung in tutorial class, kita akan buat exercise sama-sama. Okay, thank you so much everyone. Have a good day. Bye.